Hey there. Welcome into the show, everybody. Good morning. Hello, Rye. Good to see you, man. Haven't seen you in a few days when it comes to our show.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Had a few days off. This is Arch City Now. I'm Vic Faust. That's producer Rye here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Bringing you all of the news, the sports throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area, the national stories. Also generating some water cooler talk and anything else that you guys want to get into. We appreciate you guys jumping in on the show as always. You know what to do. X, Facebook, and YouTube. Once again, X, Facebook, and YouTube. You go to Arch City Now. If you ever want to call, you can as well. 855-282-8255. I think we've only had 2 calls since the inception of the show. One guy had a legit question. Another woman was somebody from my past who was trying to start some trouble.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that's it. All outside of that, people like to jump in on the chat line. We are your Lou information station. We're always live and on demand at louinfo.com. And, of course, we get you started here. Hot Take Central 2.0 follows us Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. On Mondays, we do the MIZ STL show, myself and Grant Salzman. Grant, with some business he's attending to today, it'll be myself. And I am efforting another Mizzou guest. So if anybody has any other ideas, let me know. I've got 2 calls in. We will see how that goes. When it comes to the show today, I mean, when you come back from a holiday break, so much happens from news to sports, especially throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. My friend, I'm sorry, Rye, but 2 of your football teams lost, man. St. Mary's High, St. Mary's Southside. You know I'm a big Mike England fan. I'm a St. Mary's fan. They took it on the chin in the state semifinals, but it happens. At least they made it that far. Nobody saw outside of St. Mary's maybe this year going as far as they did.
What was it? Their 5th state run in 7 years.
I
think.
No, they've been very, very good. Yeah. They have been. They just have been a really good high school football program. So St. Mary's took it on the chin, then your Rams took it on the chin yesterday. I can't say that I was upset to see that. I love Stafford. I love Puka. I love Kyron Williams. I love all these guys. But the Stan Kroenke effect, the residue from that man stinks.
Yeah, I think Rod Wave texted or called Bryce Young or something. That's why he plays good. If you don't understand that, the artist Rod Wave, he's this like rapper / singer, and he posted on his Instagram story like a year ago and said, "Hey, Bryce Young, call me." And then after he called him, like the next week, Bryce Young has been on a tear ever since.
Are you serious?
Yes, you can look it up. Like,
what the hell is it? That's info that you can use. I had no idea.
I saw all the chats. It was literally last year. Remember last year when he was playing, like he was stinking it up?
He got benched at the beginning of last year.
Right? Then Rod Wave posted on the story. He said, "Bryce Young, call me." And then, like the next start, he went.
What did he sell his soul to somebody or something?
I don't know. I think
he looks like a different player.
A lot of people are saying that Rod Wave threatened to drop another album. That's why he's playing good, because people don't like Rod Wave. I don't either, but that's another subject.
It makes me wonder, but here's the other thing. It's not like Bryce Young has arrived.
Yeah, he's always been okay. Pretty good.
It seems like he steps up in some big games.
Yeah.
But who do they play next week? I don't know. Let me see here. Hold on a second. Okay. They got a bye next week. Then they play the Saints. What will he do against the Saints? Yeah. That's my point.
Yeah, and keep in mind, if the Buccaneers lose, guess who's in first place?
Oh, my Lord. How about that? So we got NFL talk. There's high school football talk. Just a lot going on there. We've got Mizzou football, Mizzou basketball. Eli Drinkwitz signs his new contract. He's still sticking around. College football is a crazy mess right now with Lane Kiffin leaving. The college football playoff situation is about ready to have their worst nightmare come true. We can talk about that. Literally right now, if Alabama wins the SEC, which is very possible, and BYU wins their conference, you're talking about Texas, Vanderbilt, Notre Dame, and Miami all being shut out. The worst nightmare for the college football playoff system could happen.
And that's why you value head-to-head, and that's why you also value strength of schedule.
You're a man after my heart. Young blood, you get it. Which is why Notre Dame should be behind Miami.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother deal. But there are people that I know that know football and that I respect that know football in this very town who still would take Notre Dame over Miami.
Because of the eye test, they say.
And it's like, what, did you not see them play against each other? They have the same record, and this team beat that team. End of story. Game over. Unless there's some infatuation with that school or there's some just hatred of that other school that you don't want.
Did you hear about the demon scenario that may happen in the ACC?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Duke is playing for the ACC championship against Virginia, and they could win at 7-5.
Yeah, and I like their quarterback, so
and
it can get really weird.
Yes. It very much could be. So you got that college football situation going on. There's just a lot of good news here. Mizzou football won over the weekend. Illinois wrapped up. They're both finished the season 8-4. Listen, I don't have any problem with Illinois fans. I get it. I grew up a big Illini fan. I did. And then I chose Mizzou over Illinois to play football. And then I became a Mizzou fan. Illinois is not even in the same stratosphere right now as Missouri when it comes to the football field. I would love if those two were able to hook up in a bowl matchup just to silence it, because Illinois would not be able to tackle Ahmad Hardy, the best running back in America. So anyway, congrats to Illinois on your 8-4 season, 5-4 in the Big Ten. Woo!
Let's go.
SEC 8-4. Mizzou 4-4 in the conference, but Mizzou didn't beat a Big Ten team or a top 10 team. So, that's that. But it's good news. They end on a good note. They dominate their rivals. Basketball plays tomorrow night. We're going to find out if Mizzou is decent on the road. They play at Notre Dame. Notre Dame's still not a ranked team. So whatever. Next Sunday's the game. Missouri plays at Kansas. SLU with a big win the other night over Santa Clara by a point.
Yeah.
They're undefeated at 6-0.
That Santa Clara team is good, too.
They are.
They're really good.
Now they play Loyola Marymount tomorrow night, too. SLU soccer. These are all our local teams. That's what was hitting it out of the gate with the sports side. Hey, SLU soccer, they're on to the Elite Eight. They have taken down Kentucky, Indiana, number 11 Bryant, and now they have number 14 Akron in the Elite Eight. They won in penalty kicks again. Don't look now, but the SLU Billikens are making a title run, and it's so fun to see this team play. They still haven't given up more than 2 goals, and they've done well in penalty kicks. So there's some good news there. I haven't seen when they play again yet, but it will be Akron in the Elite Eight. Also, there's not a ton of people from the St. Louis area that go down to Missouri State, but there's a good amount. There are. Congrats to Missouri State football in their first year of becoming FBS. There are now not enough Power 4 teams and Group of 5 teams to go bowling. So with Auburn getting beat by Alabama the other night, it opened up spot for Missouri State. That's right. The Missouri State Bears are going bowling. People may not care about bowls, and I get it, but it's all about your expectations in life. For that program, this is huge. They just paid their football coach, Ryan, $2.5 million a year. Missouri State's not going anywhere. They've got some donors. They're going into Conference USA, and they're in it. They're playing damn well in that conference.
Yeah.
And this coach is sticking, and that is a key thing. I'm just telling you, it's very interesting. Missouri State. Now, they got waxed by USC at the beginning of this last year.
That's Lincoln Riley.
But they've gotten better and better and better. I'm just saying, don't sleep on the Bears. Another state school. I know it's not St. Louis, but there is a contingent of St. Louis area people that are alum when it comes to Missouri State. So just a lot of credit to them as well.
Yeah, shout out to Missouri State, because I know a lot of the guys that if you guys do play, I don't know if anybody here is around my age that plays either college football, the game, or anybody that's in high school that plays the game, but everybody in Missouri, we all because there's like a dynasty mode where you're the coach. Everybody chooses Missouri State because they're like a low team and we try to build it up. So shout out to Missouri State having a great year.
We'll see where they get to go bowling. That's such a really, really good thing for that program.
Yeah.
And their attendance is starting to go back up. I've been told about that as well, where they've got people coming to the game. So that's cool. Okay. Your NFL thoughts, we can do that as well. The NFL season is the weekend stretched from Thursday to last night to tonight. It's been a long freaking weekend of NFL football that started. And of course, with me being a Lions fan, it's been a nightmare after watching the Lions get beat by Green Bay because Dan Campbell has now turned into lunkhead, meathead coach. Now he can't make a fourth down. He used to make them all. When he didn't have to do the play call and his players didn't have to rely on him, he made them all the time. Now he's calling the plays and he's not getting them. And then, of course, that went against him. Tonight, the 2-10 Giants against the 10-2 Patriots. By the way, here it is. Don't look now. But in the NFL, you got two teams now in the AFC. Do you believe in either of them? The 10-2 Patriots and the 10-2 Broncos. You should be feeling very good about both those teams. You're 10-2, right? I'm not. The Broncos barely went against a bad Washington team last night. No, I don't buy it. I'm not buying into either one of those two teams. Sorry. Not buying into the Eagles. I certainly don't buy into the Bears, who, by the way, if you haven't looked yet, are the number one seed in the NFC with the easiest schedule. But their schedule is about ready to get a whole lot more difficult. They have a game with the Lions, and they have 2 games with the Packers. We're going to find out about the Bears coming up as well and what they got. So anyway, as you can see, lots from a sports standpoint to talk to already. High school football is another interesting thing right now. For the first time since the state of Missouri went to the classification of 6 classes, there will be no St. Louis area teams playing for a state title in classes 4, 5, or 6. Mm-hmm. Holy freaking moly. It is a bad year for St. Louis high school football.
Yeah.
And there's only 2 teams that have shots at state titles now. Live for Life in 3A and St. Pius X. I think they're out of Festus area. Yeah. I think they're 2A.
They are.
That's it. Everybody else went down this weekend. St. Mary's, Festus, Cardinal Ritter.
They did.
They got shut out. They just got shut down by Carthage.
Everybody
And then I watched Kirkwood, who gave everything they had, but just couldn't keep up with the best high school football team I've seen in any class the last 2 years, and that's Platte County. I got 41 kids, and they're all on offense. And the best quarterback in the state is a kid named Rocco Marriott. He is committed to Central Florida, had an offer from Missouri and West Virginia. And his dad and I played football together at Mizzou, Jeff Marriott. And they just absolutely lit up Kirkwood for almost 70 points. Kirkwood had a good year. They really did. They hung in there as best as they could, but they were no match for Platte County.
Another thing that was very talked about on Twitter as well. There was only I want to get my number right. I think there's only one private school that's in the state run too.
That's St. Pius X.
Yeah.
And some people would consider Live for Life a private school because they're a charter school.
It's charter. They don't have to pay, right?
I don't know how the charter system works.
You don't pay in charter. It's just like,
well, do you think you pay when you have to go to CBC or DeSmet or St. Mary's when you're an athlete?
Hey, I had to pay when I had to go to when I transferred to St. Mary's, I had to pay. I don't know if it's different now, but I remember my parents sitting in on that talk saying how much we have to pay a month.
I know. I'm messing around. And also, and also, oh, come on. St. Mary's gives all those scholarships to all the kids coming in.
Yeah, man. You know
I
that
thought that's what they
NIL
do.
package, baby.
And then the other good news from the weekend that you have right now, which was so fun to see, how about the St. Louis Blues on a 2-game win streak? They beat 2 really good teams at home. They were tight games. They were 1-goal games, but they were victories. The Blues play tight games, win or lose, but they have won 2 in a row. They're now 9-10. They're 9-10-7. They're almost back up to that 500 mark. And they're still at the bottom of their conference, but they're close. They're tight now. And they're playing like they should. Joel Hofer had a shutout the other day. And all of that started to go on the heels as they came home for the weekend. I started to hear rumors about Jordan Bennington being traded to Edmonton. I'm like, what? So I don't know if that was Doug Army getting the word out there, try to spark his team, figure something out. But the Blues have another game at home tonight that'll wrap up a 3-game homestand. 7 p.m. tonight. They will be playing another good team, Anaheim. So 3 straight games in a row against teams near the top of the conference. What do the Blues have tonight? So, by the way, the Ducks have a really, really, I mean, they're rolling. They have a couple guys who are really good. We'll find out what the Blues defense looks like tonight, taking on Anaheim. But that's a huge, huge opportunity for the Blues to put a 3-game win streak together for the first time this season. And of course, as we know, it would be absolutely fun to see what the Blues can get done tonight. Okay. That's fast. That's a lot coming out of the gate. Real quick, Rye, any highlights from the Thanksgiving weekend from your standpoint? Anything going on from there? All good?
Yeah, it was all good. The mac and cheese was really, really good. That was my highlight. The dressing was really good.
Oh yeah, I had a good Thanksgiving, and I had somebody make me another Thanksgiving meal yesterday.
Ooh.
A second one.
Oh yeah.
A second Thanksgiving meal yesterday.
Yeah, I wish I could do that, but I know I'm gonna be gaining way too many pounds. My mom made a low carb chili last night, and it was really, really good. So
a low carb chili last night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Shout out to my favorite. I'm a big chili guy. Shout out to my favorite chili anywhere. You guys can jump in if you want and tell me where your favorite is. If you do, since your mom made you a low carb chili last night, is Sportsman on Clayton Road in Ladue. It is the best chili I've ever had. It's a turkey chili. Absolutely love it. And anybody that's been into Sportsman knows that's what they're about. It's so good. There are very few things that myself and 2 sons and daughter could ever go out and get together, and all 3 of us could order it together. The turkey chili from Sportsman's, a really, really good deal. So they're known for it, and I just had to give that out there. So, it's all good. It's all good. And then if it wasn't enough, people who are football fans understand. People who aren't are kind of like, what's going on? We can also get into the Lane Kiffin situation today. NIL money in college football. Where's all this money coming from? Does it make you sick to your stomach if you're a fan or not a fan? There's just not a lot of purity left in certain things anymore, especially college sports. And people get frustrated by it. But those are some of the things that are happening. Okay, now, today is also, gosh, there's just so much to get to. I have not shut up yet. The first day of legalized gambling in the state of Missouri. There are people I hear that get excited about it. There are people who aren't excited about it. People get excited about it, say, yeah, we don't have to drive to Illinois anymore to do responsible wagering. And then the people I hear not liking it say, oh, great. We already know these betting companies. There's a lot of them. Wouldn't be in business if they were losing money. It's just an opportunity for people to go and think that they're going to win fortunes and then lose money and get addicted. So there's two sides of the coin. It was voted in. Certain people in the state of Missouri made us wait, politicians, to December 1st. So now today is the day. And today we'd like to debut and promote Rye's new show when he will be giving his player prop bets
Yes, sir.
on a daily basis.
Do not get mad at me when you guys lose. It's not my fault. Blame whoever. Just go on Twitter and blame whatever
I might
NBA
have jumped.
player.
Yeah, I might have jumped the gun on that.
Yeah, blame whatever NBA player decides to shoot 2 for 12 that night.
So we got the legalized betting in the state of Missouri for people who want to do that and wager responsibly. Remember, never wager more than you can lose, just like the stock market. It is not a one and done deal. You can have some fun on one, but if you're going to do it and do it from an investment standpoint, you responsibly do it over a period of time. Okay? That's how you do it. So coming up at 7:30 today, we're going to talk with Mike Palm. He is the VP of Circus Sports. I'm really looking forward to that. Missouri catching up to several other states around the country. And my humble opinion, it's long overdue. It's long overdue. If people want to do it, they should have the right to be able to do it. And finally, Missouri getting caught back up after some people in southern Missouri in the wonderful political realm of Missouri politics held it back for so long. We'll get into that. Also, some breaking news overnight. An armed man was shot and killed in Maryland Heights. We'll tell you where that happened. Just a bizarre situation. Guns and Hoses from Thursday night. Super successful. They won't give the official total of money raised until February, but allegedly it's going to be more than what they made last year, which was over $1 million. By the way, Guns and Hoses, since 1987, has raised near $14 million for backstoppers. And if anybody went any highlights, you can let us know that. Highlights from your weekend when it came to the holiday weekend. It is December. It's December 1st. And as we get ready to go to break, we still haven't even talked about our first snowfall. Woke up to a lot of snow where I was out in West County. A whole lot of snow. Woke up to that going, holy moly. And then we're supposed to get some more snow today. Maybe an inch, 2 inches.
Like around 5, right?
Well, it's for your afternoon drive. I saw the snow allegedly supposed to begin or start to come down around 1, maybe 1-ish. Maybe 2. Yeah, now I see it at 2, depending upon where you are and what part of the area you live in. I'm looking right now. So yeah, I don't know, around 2:00. I don't know, but it could make for a not so great afternoon commute, so to speak. So that's a lot to get into. Anything else that you guys want to jump in with, let us know. You can always give us a call. Obviously, the phone number is 855-282-8255. You can catch us on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Love it when you guys jump in, join the show, join the chat, like, subscribe, share the show, let people know what we've got going on. And of course, we are your Lou Information Station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. Producer Rise here. I'm Vic Faust. This is Art City Now, getting you going on a Monday, December 1st, the final month of 2025. Man, this year, we've talked about it so many times, has gone by way fast. And now we're ready to kickstart it today here on our show over on KLIS and 590 AM. We'll be back with more right after this. Hey guys, welcome back into the show. Good Monday morning, December 1st here on Arch City Now. Vic Faust, producer Rye here. If you guys want to jump in on the show, you can do that 855-282-8255. And with us, if you heard that echo, that was straight from my darn phone opening up X, because you can watch us and stream us on X, Facebook, and YouTube at Arch City Now. Glad you guys are with us today. Man, oh man, we are ready to finish the month, or actually the year of 2025 as we start the month of December. We appreciate all the support that you guys give us. And of course, luinfo.com. You can always check us out at luinfo.com. Couple things real quick. The first 30 minutes, we were talking a lot about what's happening for sports, what's coming up on the show. We will get into a lot of that coming up as well. I promise you, we will. But we also have other news headlines that we were talking about. And I find this to be very interesting because the Blues won 2 in a row over the weekend. Now they have a chance at winning 3 in a row. Is this team for real or not? You can let us know. What do you expect to see from them? All of those things are there for you. So, highlights from the weekend, best part of your Thanksgiving Day holiday weekend. We like to hear that as well. Feel free to jump in, join the show. What's happening in your neck of the woods from a St. Louis standpoint? Promote events, promote people, promote whatever and anything that you guys want to do. We appreciate you, Donna, jumping on the show this morning. Good morning, Vic and producer Rye. How are you? I think we're doing pretty good. A lot of energy on this Monday morning throughout the St. Louis area. Sun tried to come up, but it's a gray, cloudy day. Could get some snow, or at least we're being told late afternoon. That could happen. Pam, good morning, Vic. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I really did. With friends and good friends and lots of good food. Had a second Thanksgiving meal that I got to partake in yesterday, which was ironically better than the first. There's nothing like homemade stuffing. And if you're a stuffing fan, and that's what I call it, stuffing, if somebody makes it homemade, I like you. I like you a lot. So I had that, another really good turkey. So enjoy. What else is going on throughout the week? We'll talk about that too. In the state of Missouri, today is the first day where legalized gambling can take place. You have an opportunity to start that. So the sports books officially are open right now. So you can legally place bets on professional sports from your phones, your computers, licensed casinos, professional sports venues as well. It's a big deal. It is a big deal. All the professional sports teams are getting involved as well and picking their sides as well. You may remember it's been more than a year after Missouri voters. It was narrowly approved. I thought it would have been more, but it was approved narrowly. And over the past year, the Missouri Gaming Commission has worked to establish some regulations, issue licenses, finalize operational guidelines. And as of today, Missouri, this is how far I say Missouri. You can, if you're against it, you can say, well, Missouri held out as long as they could. If you're for it, you're like, man, what took so long? Missouri becomes the 39th state to legalize sports betting. So whether it's good, bad, indifferent, Missouri's late to the party on this standpoint. There are some things that you could note that can help you out. So this is how it breaks down. Missouri law allows anyone 21 years and older, if you're physically located in the Show Me State, to place bets. Residency in Missouri is not required to make a bet. So anybody can bet on any apps or retail sports books. So if you intend to make a mobile or in-person sports bet in Missouri, you can do so only in the state, as geolocation technology will block Missouri-based bets from being placed from outside the state. Have to be in the state when you do it. Anyone 21 years and old, under 21 years old, even if they are physically located in Missouri, cannot place a sports bet. This is interesting too. NCAA prohibits all student athletes, coaches, and athletic staff from placing bets on any sport. Well, they've got some insider information, and they can also dictate the outcome of games or player props. Also, athletes, coaches, and staff involved with Missouri professional sports teams cannot bet on the sport they are involved with. However, this is where it's interesting. In some cases, they may be permitted to place bets on other professional sports leagues. So if you're betting in person, several casinos around the state are licensed to do this as well. There's 4 casinos in the St. Louis region planning to allow in-person sports betting. Caesar Sportsbook, that's down at Laclede's Landing. Fanatic Sportsbook at Ameristar Casino, obviously out in St. Charles. Hollywood Casino in Maryland Heights. And River City Casino down in South St. Louis County. I also found this to be interesting. Missouri law allows each of the state's 6 professional sports teams, Missouri, not just St. Louis, Missouri, sports teams to operate a retail sports book within 400 yards of their home venue. So that could, if you look down the road, open up some other opportunities for people to bet in person. And not all teams have confirmed yet, but some of the specific retail sportsbook sites and partnerships that have taken place, and we've talked about it a little bit, but the teams are partnering up to make money with these betting agencies. Oh, you can bet, people can place bets in our venue. So the team makes money with the betting agency. The Cardinals have teamed with Bet365 or Bet365. The Blues have teamed with DraftKings. St. Louis City SC is teamed with FanDuel. Isn't it interesting that they all have their own company to work with?
I'm telling you, that's weird.
And the Chiefs have teamed with BetMGM.
It makes sense, but it's just weird because you can still bet on those teams on those sites as well, probably. But it's just like now you can bet like in their area with that certain group or whatever.
Yeah. Maybe they don't want to be with 2 teams in the same city, or a team wants their own identity with their own, quote, betting group. But welcome to the end of 2025, 2026. Who would have thought that professional sports teams would be paired and partnered up with betting organizations, betting companies? It's just bizarre to me. By the way, 8 operators, you had to get a license to operate in the state of Missouri, as you do in any state. 8 operators are licensed to accept mobile bets statewide. Bet365, which we were just talking about, BetMGM, Caesar Sportsbook, Circa Sports, and by the way, coming up at 7:30, we'll be talking with the VP of Circa Sports, Mike Palm, give you an idea, an inside look from what Circa can offer, what happens, any sort of insights. If you guys have questions, feel free to jump in and put those on or post those on X, Facebook, and YouTube at Arch City Now, or you can call in during the interview. Do we have that technology where we have a live guest and then we can take a call or not? Or you can let us know before, 855-282-8255. DraftKings, also in the state of Missouri. Fanatics, FanDuel, and I hadn't heard of this group called the Score Bet. They had to apply for licensing in the state of Missouri to be able to take app bets, and now you have it.
Underdog isn't in Missouri, though, right? Underdog?
No, they did not. Underdog was, but they pulled out.
Yeah, that's what you told
They
me.
pulled out to do some other, I guess, games of chance, maybe. But that's why Underdog. That news came out, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Underdog produces a lot of podcasts too, like Gilbert Arenas' podcast, Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. They also do another one called The Arena with Skip Bayless and some other people.
Are they more associated with NBA?
No, actually, they're more associated with football, but the NBA podcasts just have more views.
Gotcha.
But they don't make more money because more people bet on football than NBA.
Gotcha.
So,
By the way, the mobile apps for each of those operators are going to require users to verify their identity and age with personal information and at least a government-issued ID. And this is what's interesting. So legal bettors can bet on outcomes, NFL, Major League Baseball, NHL, NBA, team-based bets, and collegiate sports, and a whole lot of other things. We'll ask Mike about that coming up today. All kinds of things. What's interesting, too, if you check out some of these sites, I'm getting inundated with some of these sites. Well, they'll offer you like $300 in advance betting if you join their site or something of that nature. Heck, you could even vote. I mean, you could even bet tonight legally on the St. Louis Blues against the Anaheim Ducks. That's and they got the Monday Night Football game tonight. People could bet on Patriots and Giants. The Giants are playing at the Patriots. The Chiefs. Now you can invest in the Chiefs for or against. We haven't even talked about the Chiefs being a 6-6 football team now. But here's the other thing, though. Betting in Missouri does not allow for wagering on individual performances of Missouri-based college athletes. So that means no player props on Mizzou or SLU basketball or Mizzou football moving forward. That's what that would mean. Missouri State.
So you can't do a Kellen Thames points, rebounds,
No.
assists. Oh, that would have went crazy.
It also does not allow for individual or team-based wagering on youth or high school sports.
Yeah, that's good.
I know. I know. I get it. I do. I wanted to break this down for you too. I know we're spending a little bit more time breaking this down, but it is kind of it's a historic day in the state of Missouri from that standpoint. Agree, disagree, indifferent, whatever the case may be. But Missouri law authorizes a 10% tax on any given sportsbook's adjusted gross revenue for in-state bets, for the in-state bets rather. That is directed to go toward elementary, secondary, and higher education institutions in the state, a la lottery. By legalizing sports betting, Missouri can now collect tax revenue that previously went unregulated or to out-of-state markets like Illinois or Kansas. You get a little bit of that money back. If people are gambling, if people are wagering, why not do it in the state and keep some of that here instead of sending it to the surrounding states? So at least $5 million in the state's annual revenue will go toward Missouri's compulsive gambling fund. And we pray if you are doing this, somebody doesn't become addicted. Is it possible? Yes. Is it a real thing? Absolutely it is. Do some people hurt themselves and their families? Yeah. Yeah, they do. The law also requires licensed operators to ensure guaranteed payouts for winning bets, provide secure payment processing, and disclose how odds and wagers are handled. It also requires that the new operators implement several state-mandated protections. The age verification, which we were just talking about, the secure payment processing, which is overseen by the Missouri Gaming Commission, self-monitoring tools for spending limits and time management. I wonder what some of the spending limits would be. Bettors may also see language such as risk-free or bet or free bet, which are often common when sports betting launches in new states. With that in mind, bettors should read the fine print. Always read the fine print. Take the time. And of course, if you know of anybody that needs help, Missouri is going to operate a 24/7 bets off helpline. 1-888 bets off. Literally 1-888 bets off. Free outpatient treatment program. 1-888 bets off. So you've got some information when it comes to what's happening with this new situation, with the gambling that's coming to the state of Missouri today, or the wagering. I mean, I've always said gambling. Now, I know wagering may sound better. It may be, it's sweeter, but gambling, wagering, betting,
It's the same thing.
it's the same thing. It's semantics. I get it. It is. And of course, just remember, this can be fun. It's an exciting thing, but be responsible with it. And who knows? Maybe you'll make a whole lot of money like my friend producer Rye is.
Lose a lot of money, guys.
Or lose a lot of money.
And remember, a lot of money to me is like $10. So, yeah, put that in perspective. Yeah. And yeah, another thing about those, like, what were you saying, like free bets and stuff?
Well, you mean that they'll give you upfront money to bet, wager?
Yeah. That stuff is, I'm not going to say it's fake, but.
Well, it's not. They'll give it to you.
Yeah, they'll give it to you. And then when you win, it's all in promo money.
What does that mean?
Promo money is money you can't take out.
Oh, you can't.
You have to win with the promo money again.
Oh, you have to win a certain. Yeah, you have to win. If they give you 300, you'd have to win 300, right?
Like they'll give if you like.
Or do you have to keep the? And we'll ask Mike. At least what Circa does.
Yeah, I'd ask him too because I want to know.
Talking with Mike Palm he's the VP with Circa Sports coming up at 7:30 about some of those things that are going on. I don't know. It's different. It's new. I'm just going to say a lot of people who are interested in this have already placed wagers somehow, some way, somewhere, and you understand what you're doing. You know, I mean, it is what it is. So it ought to be interesting too to see all the other things that you might be able to quote wager on. And not that you're becoming a degenerate, but, you know, I've always equated it. And I know that it's not exact when it comes to stock market. People put money in crypto and looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been pretty decent, but the situation is you do your research to the best of your knowledge and the best of your ability, but you have to be intelligent about what you're doing. Just remember, you can never wager or part with, and you're parting with your money for the length of that game.
Yeah, like if you're going to wager something,
that money is not yours.
It's already gone.
It's
like,
gone.
If you win, yay, yippee, but
it may come back.
Yeah, but once you put it down, it's already out your account.
But it may not come back.
And 80% of the time, it's not
like that wayward girlfriend or that wayward boyfriend. You just don't know. Yeah. I mean, you just don't know.
But yeah,
up and down all around.
I remember I was in Chicago for like spring break and stuff, right? So I signed up for like this like promo thing. Like you put down like $25, you get $25 in free bet. I thought they were gonna actually double my money. No, it's like they give you $25 that you put in and then $25 in promo money that you have to win again for you to.
Well, you can't just take out 25. You have to bet it. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, it makes sense. But like, yeah, don't think that you guys could just do that if you guys make one bet and then lose and then you guys can no.
I totally get it. But I do, but it is interesting. We'll see.
It's interesting.
Obviously, I want to check back in with people tomorrow to find out if anybody did any wagering tonight, if they tested it out, where people are starting to see what kind of things happen. You know what? The other thing is, if you have good experiences, maybe bad experiences, I just have a feeling that there's not going to be many bad experiences at all here. We're the 39th state. These organizations, these companies know what they're doing. They've been doing it for years. They're highly successful. They make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And now it just maybe adds some more excitement for you. And of course, the professional sports teams getting involved is a big deal as well. And it shows you how serious they're taking things too. So to each their own when it comes. Good luck. Just good luck.
Yeah, good luck. You guys won't be hearing from me about doing this. So.
But here's the thing. Maybe next year it'll be for me. I made predictions on Mizzou football this year. And on my games with Mizzou, I would have been 4 out of 6. Correct. Including, I told everybody bet the house on Missouri and Arkansas because I knew there was no way in hell Arkansas was going to be able to stop Ahmad Hardy. One of the worst defenses in America. The only question was whether their offense was going to get some fluke plays here, special teams, whatever. So that makes me go, okay, but that's something I've known my entire life. I study, I see trends, things from that standpoint. So just be smart, be very, very, very intelligent, or as intelligent as you possibly can. Rhino's basketball. Anybody want to check him? Maybe you'll buy his new app for $9.99 a month.
$9.99 a month.
We'll start it cheap. We'll start it cheap.
And I have a class that will teach you guys what to do, baby. A class that you have to sign up for monthly as well.
Yeah, I get it. It's all good. Hey, by the way, this is Art City Now. That's producer Rye. I'm Vic Faust. Still to come. Yeah, when we come back, obviously, and we'll talk more about the first day of legalized betting, a historic day in wagering state of Missouri, with Mike Palm from Circus Sports coming up at 7:30. But when we come back after the other side of this break, we've got we'll get you caught up on the whole Mizzou football, the college football thing, SLU basketball, Mizzou basketball, SLU soccer. Wow. Into the Elite Eight. Congrats to the Billikens. Big deal there. Missouri State with some great news on their football program as well. Not so great news for the Chiefs. We'll get into the side of that. Illinois football finished with a big win too. We just like to promote anything and everything from the area. High school football. And I'm going to propose a question to all the people out there who hated private high schools. And I stand corrected. And I'll say something when it comes to high school football, because we have an unprecedented thing happening this year when it comes to high school football in the St. Louis area. Two things when it comes to private and public, and when it comes to St. Louis versus the rest of the state. Yeah, we kind of got our tails between our legs a little bit this year when it comes to the high school football side of things. Anything else you guys want to jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube, you can. We'll get into some of the news headlines. We focused on the situation regarding Missouri wagering in its first day. There was also an armed man who was killed in Maryland Heights overnight by police. Not an easy situation to deal with there. Also, check back in on the Guns and Hoses output, the amount of money that was raised the other night, and the success that it was, and anything else that you guys want to promote. Busy day here. Lots to talk about. Appreciate you guys jumping in. We'll take a break. For producer Ryan, Vic Faust, this is the Lou Information Station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. Welcome into the show. Happy Monday. Happy December 1st. Are you ready to get back into the work week throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area? Oh, we are. We've been rocking and rolling for an hour already. Producer Rye alongside, I'm Vic Faust, Arch City Now. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. All things St. Louis all the time. Sports, news headlines, water cooler talk, and national stories also being talked about throughout the area. We love it when you guys jump in on the show as well. You can do that on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Give us your opinions. Check in if there are stories, people, businesses, charities that you want to promote. You let us know. We talk about it as well. The show is yours. The platform is yours for those stories throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. We come up with some of those things. We love it when you guys participate as well and let us know. Also, if you want to check out the show that follows us every day, Monday through Friday, we kickstart the programming here Monday through Friday from 6 to 8 a.m. Hot Take Central 2.0 follows us from 8 to 10. That is with the former Blue Cam Jansen and Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes. A lot more fun to talk about the Blues and Cam these days. They won 2 in a row over the weekend. My, oh my, that was a good thing. Close games, 1-goal wins, but they were victories. Talk about the Blues more in just a second. Then on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you've got the MIZ STL show. All things Mizzou. Myself and Grant Salzman do that on Mondays. Grant's gone today. I'll be doing that, efforting a couple guests. Mizzou football. We'll hit that a little bit during this show, but today is when we really dive in to the finish of the regular season. Eli Drinkwitz's contract, where Missouri sits from a bowl standpoint, what's going on in the SEC, the wacky, wild playoff situation that could have an absolute nightmare. The Lane Kiffin saga. He is now an LSU coach, becoming the first Division I football coach ever, becoming the first man in the history of football to coach not one, not two, but 3 different SEC schools. Tennessee, Ole Miss, and now LSU, and the insane amount of money that's in college sports, specifically football. Not even basketball yet, but football. Just freaking phenomenal. That's from 10 to 11. And then, of course, Charlie Tuna and the Posse from 11 to 1 today. Glad you guys jump in with us all the time as we talk about. Producer Rye here. I'm Vic Faust. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving break. A lot of days since we've been here as well. Also chiming in on the Thanksgiving meals that you had. How was the turkey? It's all right if you jump in and let us know if it was good, if it was bad, where you were, what you did, the favorite sides. I had not 1 but 2 outstanding meals. I had the aunt do it on Thanksgiving, and then I had my good friend make another turkey yesterday. Oh, it was so good. Homemade stuffing, the best. Do you call it stuffing, by the way?
I think stuffing and dressing is 2 different things, I think.
Okay, there you go.
I think stuffing comes with, you put meat in it, right?
No.
Or you don't put meat in it?
No, you don't put meat not in stuffing. But I had homemade stuffing. And it was outstanding.
Then what's the difference?
You guys can let us. You guys can let us know what the difference is, maybe from your standpoint. We covered coming up at 7:30. Mike Palm, VP Circus Sports, talk about the whole betting, wagering in the state of Missouri. We focused a lot on that during the last segment. Just wanted to hit and touch upon some of the other things that are going on right now. Good morning to Derek Pratt. Appreciate you jumping in as well. Donna and Pam and Ben. You can jump in on Facebook, X, and YouTube at Arch City Now. This was a bizarre story, too, that we had coming in, just from a news standpoint as well. A police officer shot and unalived, killed an armed man at Walgreens in Maryland Heights yesterday. Okay. You don't want to be messing around with some of this stuff. And of course, we know mental health becomes an issue, and you don't know if somebody is up to no good, trying to steal, or if it's a mental health situation. Not easy for police to try to decipher that as well. But it happened just after 6 p.m. inside the store. That's the Walgreens on Dorset. Officers from Maryland Heights Police Department, and they do a really good job, responded to a service call inside the store. They encountered a man with a gun. Can you imagine this? Police said the armed man fired at officers inside the store. Imagine yourself if you're in there. One officer returned fire, striking the armed suspect. That person died at the scene. The man's identity has not been released. Missouri State Highway Patrol initially responded to help Maryland Heights police at the scene. So county police took control of the investigation by about 8:30 last night. And that's where it is. Now, the officer who fatally wounded the armed suspect is a 30-year-old, 2.5 years of experience with the Missouri Highway Patrol, as well as some prior law experience. I can tell you this much. If you're an officer and you're fired upon, I mean, they've already got like 10 or 11 jobs to do as it is. And then somebody fires upon you, yeah, you protect yourself and others in the community, and that's what you're paid to do. Not an easy thing to pull that trigger, that's for sure. But that was a news story that was making a whole lot of headlines last night for sure. Another big story today when it comes to the St. Louis area is the weather. We had our first snowfall over the weekend. Yeah, it was cold. A lot of rain kind of came and washed it away, so the roads didn't stay bad for all that long, which was good to see. But on Saturday morning, but now we're supposed to get round 2 today, not like it was before, but I find it interesting because of the timing. I don't know what you guys see or what you've had, but I've seen anywhere from starting in the area from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And it's like, okay, when is this exactly supposed to start? If you guys want to jump in. And speaking of sports wagering, how about weather wagering when it comes to when the snowfall is supposed to be here? Peak snowfall rates, as I saw the last update when I was looking at Fox here, had it from like 5 to 10 p.m., but that was last night when that came down. So maybe it's moved up. I don't know. But apparently the 1 to 2 inches of snow that is supposed to fall, would be done by this evening. It could result in some really cold weather too. I mean, if you look at the weather for this week, all of a sudden we went from a pretty decent and mild fall, at least it seemed to me, to just freaking cold. Really, really fast. Maybe some slight chances of precipitation throughout the week. We'll see how all of that fares when it comes to the weather, but it's certainly been a story that we're talking about and something that we'll see when it comes through there. And speaking of the snow, imagine waking up Saturday morning to find your car has just been crushed by a snowplow. That happened in St. Louis Hills. 4 or 5 cars were damaged by a snowplow. The snowplow was literally, now those cars were parked on Jameson Avenue, and the snowplow driver told police he was swerving to avoid hitting a speeding car on the opposite side. So residents say they've seen people, which is unfortunate, and including police officers, zoom down the street at like 90 miles per hour, and it's been a huge issue. So it's a 4-lane road. They can't do speed humps there, those speed bumps. So, a cop sitting there once a year to give out tickets, they don't think it's going to be enough. So anyway, cars were damaged by a snowplow. You wake up to that. And it's like, okay, snow and my car is damaged. Just another story making news from around the weekend. We talked about the casino. You can bet there. Now you can bet online. It is here. First day. We'll be talking more with Mike Palm, the VP of Circus Sports, coming up around 7:30 about some of the specifics when it comes to sports wagering in the state on this first day, a historic day in the state of Missouri for sports wagering. And we'll see where all of that goes from that standpoint. Okay. Also, any other news headlines, things that you guys want to jump in, think that we missed, things that we should cover, let us know. Also, we'll get into that. We'll cover it from your standpoint, okay? Love it when you guys jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Once again, that is at Arch City Now. Producer Rye here. I'm Vic Faust as well. Okay. Other things from the weekend. We just talked about the Blues. The Blues are in action tonight, too. Hopefully it's not snowing. Hopefully it wouldn't be too tough of a drive to get downtown with the rush hour if there's snow falling at that point in time. But the Blues have a 7 p.m. game tonight against Anaheim. How about the Blues coming back home after a bad road trip? They had only had one win. They did get some points on that road trip. They were playing tight games, but they were losing. They come home, they play 2 more tight games, but they're winning. They win one on Friday. They win one on Saturday. and they finish up a 3-game road trip tonight, or excuse me, a 3-game home trip tonight when they take on another team that's toward the top of their conference. Anaheim Ducks coming into town. If the Blues could complete a 3-game home sweep against those 3 teams, despite the terrible start that they've had, I think you got to like where this team is headed. You really do. And do we really make moves now if you're Doug Armstrong? Do we let this ride a little bit longer? Because the defense has come back. The goaltending has come back. Joel Hofer, I know we got off to a really bad start, like literally one of the top 3 worst goalies in the league for start of the year. He had a shutout. Yeah, I mean, he had a really good game. The defense playing well. Not as many good shots that they're giving up. And now the Blues have a chance to get back to the 500 mark at 10-10 tonight. 10-7 is what they could be with a win against Anaheim. They hit the road after tonight and get back on their road trip. So opportunity for the Blues to take care of business tonight. We certainly wish them the best when it comes to that standpoint. How about Mizzou football? Illinois football. Illinois won over the weekend against Northwestern. They finished the year 8-4, 5-4 in the Big Ten. A good year for them. They'll be going to a bowl game. Mizzou dominates their SEC rival, our forced rival in Arkansas. They win the traveling trophy. But I've always thought if it's called a traveling trophy, it should travel. The trophy doesn't really travel in the Missouri-Arkansas series because it stays in Columbia where it belongs. Life is rough to be a Hogs fan these days. Outstanding year for Mizzou football. Ahmad Hardy, best running back in the country with all due respect to Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah is a terrific player. He'll be playing in the NFL. He'll probably get an invite to New York. He plays with the right team, Notre Dame. As of now, they're a playoff team. He has less of an average per yard, per rush, per carry than Ahmad Hardy, several hundred yards less, but he also has the receiving game as well in his repertoire. He has 17 touchdowns, Ahmad Hardy 15. So both have been great. Ahmad Hardy's the best pure back in America, just like Eli Drinkwitz said. Could not agree with him anymore. But beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So Mizzou finishes 8-4. We'll see where they go to a bowl. Missouri locked up Eli Drinkwitz as well. Since we were last on the show, 6 more years, a lot of money being invested. Eli Drinkwitz also said that he's got politicians calling Jason Smith, Eric Schmidt, people calling at the governor, Mike Kehoe, asking him, what can we do in the state of Missouri from a financial standpoint to keep Missouri competitive when it comes to NIL? Gotta love to hear that. And Eli Drinkwitz is very intelligent. He may not have been proven to be the best in-game coach, as I hear people talk about all the time. He may not have been able to beat the good teams yet, the teams that are ranked 15 or better, at least top 10. But I'm telling you, I think he's a pretty good CEO. I do. He has managed Missouri, who did not have any sort of a massive financial base to compete in the SEC, to be in a middle to upper echelon team when it comes to NIL, the recruiting, and to be able to play these teams that they've played as tough as they have. Look at Notre Dame. Did Notre Dame play 4 top 10 teams this year? How about those Big Ten teams? Did they play 4 top 10 teams this year? ACC? Did they? Big 12? I don't know. Just go down and look at the records. It's a tough schedule that they've had. So he's going to have to rebuild and revamp the team that's coming back next year because they lose a lot. And, of course, in this day and age of NIL, some of the other schools can come in and offer a whole lot of money. Also, when it comes to St. Louis area teams, congrats to the SLU men's soccer team. They are headed to the Elite Eight when it comes to the Division I NCAA National Soccer Tournament. They have now beaten Kentucky, Indiana, Bryant, who was ranked 11th, And now they've got a matchup with Akron 14th in the Elite Eight. SLU plays good defense. They find a way to win, and they won in penalty kicks. They did it again. So SLU advances. They'll have Akron in their next matchup, and that's very, very exciting for this soccer team. Of course, there's a deep, rich tradition of soccer in St. Louis and at SLU. And don't look now, but this could be literally a history-making season for St. Louis U soccer. The basketball team had a big win the other night, 71-70 over Santa Clara. They play again tomorrow night. Let's see if they can keep that streak going. They really have a deep team. Be fun to watch them play. They've got Loyola Marymount. That's a 9 p.m. game tomorrow night. Mizzou basketball, maybe we find out a little bit more about them. They're 8-0, but, they played one Power 4 team, Minnesota, and dominated them. Not sure how good they are. Tomorrow night, they play at Notre Dame. It's an 8 p.m. start. Next Sunday, Kansas, 12 o'clock. So they've got a couple games away from Mizzou to find out how good they can actually be on the road. And we'll find out soon enough what's happening with them. Also, big shout out, seriously, a big shout out to Missouri State. I know it's down in Springfield. It's not, but there is an alumni base in the St. Louis area. Missouri State in their first year of FBS football, playing that Conference USA schedule, they are going bowling. They don't even have to petition the NCAA anymore, because when Auburn lost to Alabama the other night, making themselves ineligible for a bowl game at 5-7, it opened up the door for Missouri State. Ryan Beard, it just signed a contract, $2.5 million. Missouri State's getting serious about their football. Their fan base should be excited as well. So that's another big deal. Don't know what bowl game they'll be going to, but the Bears making some headway. Another state team in the state of Missouri doing some really, really good things there. So congrats to them. Love to see it. Love to promote anything in the state. And of course, the alumni base that's in the St. Louis area. Okay, high school football from the St. Louis area. A historic year in Missouri. For the first time since 2002, when they went to the 6 classes of high school football, the St. Louis area will not have a team in 4A, 5A, or 6A competing for a state title. Nada. None. That ended this last weekend when both Kirkwood and Cardinal Ritter lost in 5A. And in 4A, St. Mary's and Festus lost. That's it. So congrats to Coach Tony Wolfhook. And Lift for Life in 3A, they're playing for a state title. They look really good. And also St. Pius X in 2A, like they're over in the Festus area. So again, the second part of this is technically Lift for Life is not a private school. It's a charter school. So you're talking about 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, no private schools in the state tournament. So for many years, I've heard about private schools in the St. Louis area having an unfair advantage against public schools, because for so many years, the private schools have dominated the state 4A, 5A, 6A high school football scene. Is this a 1 year off, or is it a trend? It's kind of funny. I saw Carl Reed tweet out, former high school football coach at DeSmet, recruiter, say, oh, it's just not fair. The public schools have so much of an advantage over the private schools, speaking sarcastically, because we've heard that for so long.
Yeah, for real. And I think the only time, and it's really just because St. Louis, I personally think it's just because of the public school education why most people play and go to private schools. Either they want a better education or they want to play at a top school.
Well, they do. And I'm telling you, it's different here in the area. I've been in a lot of traveling, doing television. St. Louis is a different area. There's so many private schools, boys and girls. And I'm telling you, where the scholarships were, they were coming, and you had better opportunity to play at these bigger schools.
Exactly.
Or when I say bigger schools, no more well known, because if you get kids from 10 different zip codes, It's a lot easier than playing a team that maybe has 2 zip
Yeah.
codes or 3 zip codes.
Exactly. And it's just like, and that's
But
how
not this year.
Yeah,
It's the year of the public school.
Jackson.
And I
all
have
those
to
schools.
admit, up until this year, I've always said I think there should be a private school league and a public school league because I didn't think it was fair. And then all of a sudden, and maybe you have these power teams from a public, like I'm just going to say, like Platte County. They're the best team in the state. I'd love to see a Platte County who's going to win the 5A state title play against whoever wins the 6A state title, Nixa or Jackson. I would love to see that. But Jackson, Nixa, Platte County, Kearney, these teams, they may not be public. I mean, they may not be private, but what they do is they have communities where kids start playing football, 8, 9, 10 years old, and they run these systems, and they're with their same guys year in, year out. I'm telling you, it's an advantage. And so you get these kids that have super athletes, maybe at other schools, that all come together. But even Kirkwood was another team that was a public school, but the high schools in the state of Missouri and the St. Louis area are now operating like, I'm just going to tell you, they're operating like the private schools. For instance, Kirkwood's quarterback this year, he was at a Fort Zumwalt school the year before. I was told his mom worked in the Kirkwood district, so he's an awesome quarterback.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think
so.
Kirk was
He
a special
transfers,
case, though.
so he transfers over and then can play, and it's like, oh,
Public to public though.
And he made that team shine. They have a great athlete in Jacob Eberhard who's going to Illinois, but this and some other really good players. But the quarterback makes it go.
Exactly.
If you don't have a quarterback, you can have 4 or 5 other D1 kids, and it doesn't matter. Just ask me. I watched my CDS do that this year.
Oh man!
If you don't have production from the quarterback position, you got problems. So public schools may be smartening up and doing some of that as well. I just thought it was an interesting thing that's happened this year in the state of Missouri.
Especially like looking on other cities and comparing it to other cities, like other cities I've been in, or like when I tell people, yeah, I went to an all boys private school, they're like, you went to an all boys private school. They don't get like the district that I'm in. Like, no offense to these other schools, but me knowing the person I am, I wouldn't want to go to Roosevelt or Carnahan.
Yeah.
To 1, play basketball, and 2, to just go to school. So it's
I get it.
Yeah.
So other news for the week, big Chiefs area here. Your Chiefs lost on Thanksgiving. Are you worried about the Chiefs? They're 6-6. You're talking about a 6-6 team now that pretty much has to win the final 5 games of the year and get some help to get into the playoffs. Are you worried about the Chiefs? I am. I'm worried about them getting into the playoffs. I really am. We'll see. I mean, you never want to say you want to doubt Patrick Mahomes, but things just aren't working for Kansas City right now. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, we couldn't even get a Taylor Swift shot on Thanksgiving. They went to the booth. We had to see Britney instead. We didn't get to see Taylor. So that's a very interesting developing story from the NFL. And if you think you know who's going to win the Super Bowl right now, good luck, because the NFL is so up for grabs right now. Who knows? Maybe that's what they wanted. Maybe that's going to make it a little bit better. Maybe it's making it more interesting.
Script of the year.
But it's still hard for me to believe in a 10-2 Patriots team and a 10-2 Broncos team. I'm sorry. And then the Rams just lost to the Panthers. And the Bears are the number 1 seed in the NFC conference. Give me a break.
Yeah, like what is this, 2015?
I'm like, hello. We'll see. Hey, once again, today is the first day of legalized wagering in the Show Me State in Missouri. Voters brought this in. They legalized it with a narrow vote. That was over a year ago. Well, today is the first day that you can have legalized wagering. When we come back from the break, we'll be talking things over with the Circus Sports VP, Mike Palm, about some of the insider information that you need to know. Everything else, how it can help you. 855-282-8255. You can check in on X, Facebook, and YouTube if you have any questions. We'll be back with more right after this. For producer Ryan, I'm Vic Faust. We are your Lou Information Station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. Welcome to December, St. Louis, the fastest year ever in the history of mankind. We are entering the final month of 2025, and we do it with you every morning here at Arch City Now, 6 to 8 a.m. I'm Vic Faust, producer Ryan alongside as well. All things St. Louis all the time, all the news, the sports, the water cooler talk. We're followed every day at 8 to 10 by Hot Take Central 2.0. That's the former Blue Cam Jansen and Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes. And then Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, that would be today, we have the MIZ STL show. Myself, Grant Salzman, bringing you all things Mizzou all the time. Lots to get into when it comes to Mizzou and the way they finished the season. What's going on in the SEC, the NIL money, Lane Kiffin, the disaster that's about to happen in the college football playoff as well, or at least the possibility for disaster. We'll see where that goes today. And then, of course, every day, Monday through Friday, from 11 to 1, Charlie Tuna and the Posse. It's a historic day in the state of Missouri, no doubt about it. Sports wagering goes legal. It was passed by voters over a year ago, and now you have the opportunity to partake if you would like. And from that standpoint, people may know a lot about what's going on by going to other states. Now we get to stay in the state of Missouri. A lot of that tax money revenue staying right here in the state. To talk more about some of those things that are happening, and of course, this history-making day, we've got Mike Palm, the VP of Circus Sports. Mike, good morning. Thanks for jumping in on the show with us today. I guess you guys are used to doing this opening in states around the country because, heck, we're finally at the party. We're late, but we're there, being the 39th state.
Yeah, it's our sixth state that we're in. Of course, Nevada. Next for us was Colorado, then Iowa, Illinois, Kentucky, and now the great state of Missouri. But it is the very first time that we launched with the state. So the first time that we were there for day one. The rest of them, the states were already underway by the time we joined. So it was exciting to be part of the process, getting the vote passed very narrowly, and then, applying for licensure. Missouri did something pretty unique, the Gaming Control Board, in establishing these two untethered licenses where you did not have to partner with a professional sports team or be a casino owner. And so we were fortunate enough to go through that process with FanDuel and DraftKings and win one of the two untethered licenses along with DraftKings, and then, go through the whole process of trying to help shape the rules for the state of Missouri. They came up with this launch period for the 2 weeks prior to today, where folks could download and register and fund their accounts, and then kick off last night at midnight. So it was fun to be part of this process.
You've done this in some other states, and when I say 39th, Missouri being the 39th state to legally accept sports wagering, what have you seen happen immediately where it goes legal when it comes to people actually jumping out of the gate? Is there a massive influx of sports wagering, or does it take some time?
No, I think it builds up. Obviously, for those folks that live on the borders, like here in St. Louis, who've been having to drive over into Illinois, I mean, that conversion is immediate, and you'll be able to compare products from state to state for those folks. And I think they'll find that the regulatory environment and the tax environment in Missouri is much more favorable for the sportsbook operators to be able to offer a more competitive product in Illinois. We've seen what's happened in Illinois in terms of the governor pushing the tax rate up seemingly every year. The mayor of Chicago is now talking about putting a 10% tax on all wagers made within the city limits. And, you've got some operators paying 42% tax, depending on where the bet is made in Illinois. And it might be 52% in Chicago,
Wow.
Whereas you're talking about a flat 10% in Missouri. So obviously, the line that the sportsbook's able to offer the customer in Missouri is going to be better than what they can offer in Illinois.
Boy, it certainly sounds that way. Talking with Mike Palm, he's the VP of Circus Sports, joining us here on Arch City Now when it's a history-making day in the state. Sports wagering went live at 12:01 this morning and continues on today. When it comes to people jumping in, I guess there's so many. I mean, I was looking down the list here. I'm like, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 8 operators that I see that are licensed to accept mobile bets statewide. What kind of advice would you have when it comes to people who are looking for a company, an app to use?
Yeah, well, if you have the time, there's 9 in the state now with Underdog withdrawing. There were 10. If you have the time, take a look at what each book is offering. It was nice. This ramp up period was smart because people could go on and look at the lines on each app. Look what's offered. What is one? Everybody does stuff differently. Everybody's good at different things. What do you like? Do you like same game parlays? Do you like to make future wagers? Are you a straight better? Do you like to bet in game? You can see what everyone was offering. You just couldn't make a wager until last night. See what marketing promos folks are offering. See the line pricing, how it differs from book to book. But I would tell you, if you're going to do this even recreationally, you should have at least 3 different apps on your phone because you just want to get the best number. And so, one book might have the Missouri Tigers are laying 3. One book might have 2.5. One might have 3.5. And if you want to bet Missouri, you certainly want to have access to the book that has 2.5. And if you want to bet their opponent, you want to be able to get 3.5. So I would say to have at least 3 apps on your phone.
Do you find that happens quite a bit where there are differences between 3 different books on points?
It does. And it does. And as much as the market tends to follow each other, remember people are in different states as well. So, we book one big pot. So a person who's betting on the Avalanche tonight in Colorado isn't just disproportionately affecting the line we offer in Colorado. It affects our one line that we offer in every state. There might be books that operate in 30 states compared to a book that might operate in Missouri and one other state. When you're getting local money in Missouri on the Tigers, that may affect that book that only has one other state much less than it affects the books that have dozens of other states.
Boy, that is interesting. Talking with Mike Palm, the VP of Circus Sports. You brought this up a little bit earlier when you talk about the professional sports teams in the state of Missouri have linked up with some of those groups right now. What is it that Circa offers that you feel may separate yourself when it comes to a book?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. We offer larger limits than most of the other books. You're going to be able to bet basically what you want to bet on the game, and if the limit that we have posted on a game, you want to bet more, phone us up and have a conversation with us, and we'll get to know you. And most likely we're going to give you the bet that you want. 2, I think there's transparency. I looked at the other apps in the state. We're the only one where if you go on and you look at a game, let's say you looked at the Patriots-Giants game tonight. This is an example since it's a few hours away. It's going to tell you the amount that you can bet on the halftime total, the amount you can bet on first touchdown score. It's right there on the app. There's no guesswork. It's very transparent. Another key thing is we're not going to kick you out if you win. We've seen that's certainly a trend in the industry when a book has a player and they've been successful. They keep lowering their limits, and eventually they're just going to say, we don't want to take a bet from you anymore. We have a lot of professional players that play with Circus Sports in the various states we're in. We don't shy away that you're a pro bettor or that you're a winning bettor. In fact, we want the information from those folks because those folks help us to get to the correct line quicker. And then I think we have really good customer service. I know everybody says that in the industry, but we've got a bunch of people. If you're having any problems or if you have questions, that you can make a phone call or send an email and get an immediate response. And it's not some chat bot where you're trying to figure out what happened with your app, but the AI doesn't understand what you're saying, and it's very frustrating. It's actual human beings that are going to help you with your issue and help you immediately.
Just a quick question, Mr. Palm. This is about like the promo deals and the money sides of things. So is there any like deals that are going on during this day, since it's the first time that it's like legally allowed around here? Are there any like put down like 50 and you get like 100 in promo money or anything like that that's going on in your realm?
So there is at the different books. We're gonna roll out something in January that's going to be a big promo for us. January into leading up into the Super Bowl. I saw some folks books are doing, you deposit X and we're going to match it up to a certain point,
Mm-hmm.
and that's usually in free bets, right? Another trend in the industry is risk-free first wager. So they're going to say your very first bet, if you lose it, we're going to refund it in free bets. I know one book was doing 1,500, and there's just different ways of bonusing. If you have so much volume in a given period, we're going to bonus you for that. A lot of it was based off deposits since you couldn't make a wager yet, but you can go onto the different books and see what each one is offering. It's a very competitive space. And we always say to people, they say, well, you don't give out 200 a week like this X does, and you don't give out this like Y does. And we say, yeah, but look at the pricing. Our bonus is in the pricing, where at another book, this parlay pays 5.5 to 1. It pays 6.5 to 1 at Circa, where you have to lay minus 118 in another book on both sides. You're laying 110 at Circa. So we always say the bonus is in the pricing. So take a look at the prices as well. When we launched in Illinois, it was during a couple of years ago during a Major League Baseball wild card season, right? That week of the 3-game wild card. And I believe it was the Rangers were playing the Rays. And we were the ninth book in Illinois. And we were there doing a bunch of media like we are now. And I went on and I looked in the market. And the very first game was Rangers at Rays. And of the 9 books, we had the best price on the Rangers, but also of the 9 books, we had the best price on the Rays. So take a look and shop your pricing.
Boy, that's great advice. Talking right now with Mike Palm, the VP from Circus Sports. When you look, and you were here from the get-go, as you said, what do you see advantages being in the state of Missouri? Because we see and we hear about, secondary education will be helped out. Education in the states, similar things that what we saw when it came to maybe the lottery, when it comes to tax purposes.
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, and I think what regulated wagering also does is it cleans up a lot of the issues, because remember, when you have unregulated wagering, there's no protection. There's nobody making sure that everybody's 21 years old, right? These prediction markets and your local bookmakers and stuff like that. You've got a lot of kids that are 13 and 14 years old now. My kids are in elementary school still, and I help coach a couple of their teams. I mean, you got kids, 14-year-old kids with betting apps on their phones. It's pretty shocking. So that's one thing, is about protections. The other thing is about the tax revenue that can be used to support the different causes of people in these communities, and higher education is one of them. And another thing that we've seen when it is done is infrastructure, and the ability to improve infrastructure and create jobs in states. And one of the things that's so attractive about Missouri is how important sports is, and a very educated fan bases here in St. Louis, Kansas City, University of Missouri and Columbia. Very knowledgeable and educated fan bases whose teams are very important to their community. So we look forward to being a part of that partnership as well.
Well, you're certainly talking well from a circus standpoint. Is there anything else that you think is important right now to let people know, maybe on this first day, whether people have wagered for a long time or maybe just starting out today, that we haven't talked about yet?
I would just tell folks, look, it's an entertainment expense. Sports wagering, gambling, it's part of an entertainment expense. I mean, you have a budget on how much you want to go out to your family and eat. When you go on vacation, you have a budget on what you're going to spend between your airfare and your hotel and the different experiences you have. Look at it as an entertainment expense. Now, it's one you can win at. The other side of it is also one that you can take too far. It's very important to budget. it's very important to say, I have X amount of dollars and this is how I want to spend them. And I want to be more educated on how I do it so that I get the maximum enjoyment out of what I budgeted for. So I always give people that advice and say, that's your budget, and learn from it. And, you know, if it doesn't go well this month, well, then you have next month and you have X amount of money, but don't let it control your life.
Mike, I like to get to know people too. How did you get involved in this industry?
It's very strange. It was strange. It's interesting. I mean, I grew up in Dubuque, Iowa. I went to Notre Dame. I was in the seminary program at Notre Dame. I really thought I wanted to be a priest. My junior year, I made a decision I didn't. I wanted to have my own family. I went back to Iowa. I taught in a Catholic elementary school for a couple of years. I was making $16,800 a year. That's with coaching three. Yeah. That's with coaching three sports, and I couldn't afford to pay Sally Mae back. And so I started dealing poker in the summer. And I was making as much in 2.5 months dealing poker as I was in 9 months teaching. And so, as much as I miss teaching, and I still get to do it through coaching my kids' sports teams, I just gravitated into this industry, and I started in Iowa, and I went to Northwest Indiana, went to Atlantic City for a year before eventually I got to Las Vegas in 2005. And then I got hooked up with Derek Stevens when he purchased the casino I was working at, which was Fitzgerald's, and made it to D. And then, 8 years later, we built Circa, and that's sort of been the journey that got me to where I am.
Boy, I love that. So I guess you're a Notre Dame fan, huh?
Yeah, I'm a huge Notre Dame fan.
So you have
the number that they're going to make the playoffs. I get all the arguments. I get all the arguments, right? I get all Miami head to head and this and that. Look, that committee can't turn down the amount of revenue that they will create for the playoffs.
Yeah, but that wasn't supposed to be part of that's not supposed to be part of the criteria.
But that's a reality, though.
You're right.
Absolute reality. I'm going to tell you the team that's not going to make it that has the biggest gripe. And maybe as Missouri fans, you guys are going to say, well, we should have beat them, and the quarterback got injured, and we were pathetic in the red zone. Vanderbilt has a better resume than Notre Dame, Miami, or Oklahoma in my mind. But Vanderbilt's not getting in. But I think that's the team that should have the biggest gripe when they get left out.
Yeah, it's interesting, especially when they have the hype coming from a Diego Pavia. I agree with you. You make sense. I think Miami should be ahead of Notre Dame. But, hey, buddy, tell me about this. What if Alabama wins and BYU wins? I don't see there being a spot for Notre Dame in that scenario.
Yeah, if BYU wins, I think Notre Dame's likely out. BYU definitely steals the bid because you can't keep Texas Tech out.
Exactly.
That's the whole linchpin. It's interesting. The other side of this, on the bottom side, I mean, if Duke wins, are they going to put 2 group of 5 teams in?
I know.
Duke? I mean, Duke's got 5 losses and they got beat pretty handily by Tulane. It's really interesting. And, I just am thankful. I know they want to go from, to 12 and then 14 and maybe 16. I think 16 might be the right number, but I'm just happy it got to 12 because it creates so much more interest in the sport throughout the year. I mean, when you had 4 teams, there was almost nobody bet the national championship. Why would you? There's one of 6 teams that's going to be a part of the 4, and probably only 2 or 3 of those can win. I mean, it wasn't even really a bet to offer. Now this yes/no on playoffs, and it's a tremendous market to book, and it's a fun market. And so I'm glad they at least went to 12.
Well, Mike, I love talking some business with you, some sports, and when it comes to Circa Sports, check it out. Check out and see how they may differ, how they could help you on this first day when it comes to legal wagering in the state of Missouri. The VP of Circa Sports, Mike Palm. Thanks, Mike. I'd love to catch back up with you again. Great guest. Love the info.
Yeah, thanks. Anytime, Vic, and thanks for having me on, and good luck to everybody in Missouri today.
All right, you got it. Mike Palm right there. A lot of interesting information from that standpoint, too. And you know what it is? As I hate that he's right about Notre Dame. I don't have anything against Notre Dame. I don't. Their resume is not better. I don't even think it's better than Texas. And Texas has 3 losses.
I was just about to say
Look at who Texas has lost to.
If Texas didn't lose to Florida, right? If I've been thinking this whole year.
Even with the loss to Florida, I think the resume for Texas is better than Notre Dame.
Literally, if Texas didn't lose that Florida game, their only losses are top 5 teams.
I don't even talk about the Florida, include the Florida loss. It doesn't matter.
It literally, if Sarkisian, I saw a video on this too. If Sarkisian really wants to press the needle it's making it to where non-conference games don't even schedule anybody good.
I know. Well,
Like-
if they get left out when they had an opportunity to, if BYU doesn't win, it shows college you don't play a good non-conference schedule. It doesn't matter.
Just play a middle of the pack Power 4 team like a Northwestern, Illinois.
Well, Illinois is better. I mean, but
Just play a little Power 4 team and then play the SEC conference and call it a day. You already got 9 games next year anyway.
well, keep it posted. Check out Circus Sports. We appreciate Mike Palm taking some time with us to explain what's happening in the state of Missouri. While he talks about all the opportunities and things, he also said, remember, look at it as an entertainment, be responsible, and do what you got to do. Have already done wagering, and you've won and you've lost. You've experienced the highs, you've experienced the lows that come with that. You must be responsible from that standpoint, or at least as much as you possibly can. So anyway, we appreciate you guys being with us. By the way, again, the Blues tonight, 7 p.m. Anaheim Ducks, another team that's gotten out to a really good start. They have some really good players. Let's see what the Blues can do. See if they can make it 3 in a row, make it a perfect homestand. First 3-game win streak of the season would be outstanding. Even when the Blues were not winning, they were playing tight games. They're still playing those tight games, or at least they have the last 2. But they obviously won those games, which was good. That was great news. So we'll see where that goes tonight. Blues in action. 7 p.m. You got your Monday Night Football game as well. Giants at the Patriots. Maybe you'll be wagering. Who knows? We'll see. We'll keep you posted from that standpoint as well. Also, snow expected to hit the area. I was just debating with a friend. He's like, oh, it says 12 o'clock. I'm like, no, that's in outskirts. 2 o'clock is when it's supposed to start, right? All right. Wagering on the weather. Could you wager on the weather when snowfall hits a certain area?
Yeah. Inch prop. Over 2 inches.
The inch prop. Guys, we appreciate you being with us again today. We are Arch City Now here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Producer Ryan alongside. I'm Vic Faust. As always, you can jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube. We're grateful for the support, all things St. Louis, all the time. All right, we are your Lou Information Station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. Have a great day. Stay positive. We will see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. Hot Take Central 2.0 is coming up next.
Joined now by the boss, Dave Green. Dave